Hey everybody, it's Phil with Behringer. How you doing today? Welcome to Music Group Studios. I want to talk a little bit more on the XR18 and some of the effects in it when it comes to mixing down or working with a session that you've actually recorded through the XR18 and now you're playing it back through the XR18. So one of the things you can use is a limiter on the output bus. And so what I've done is, as you can see here, I have Effects4 is listed as a precision limiter, and I have it inserted on the master bus right now. You can see it right there, it's left and right. And so I have this inserted on the master fader. Although you see the level here, I can route this out. So one of the immediate questions is, what does a limiter do? Okay, it's used often in trying to do final mixes, things of that nature, and then at the same time it can be used in individual channels for different things. And a conversation that often happens is, what's the difference between a limiter and a compressor? A compressor says, I'm going to compress you at a constant ratio, whatever ratio you set it up, above or below a certain threshold basically, and I'm just going to compress in ratio the whole time, and until a threshold is reached and the gate releases. Now a limiter says, I'm going to change the ratio to keep you from going over this specific limit. So you're actually having this signal is limited to a certain level, and it's going to change the compression level to keep that order happening. So when making master mixes, people tend to limit them so that they can get a nice loud signal for their mastering output. And there's two schools of thought on that. One is, do not limit very much, because you want to have dynamic range in your mix. You want to have the soft parts be soft and not really amplified, and you want to have the loud parts just be naturally loud, so you hear a dynamic range between the softest part and the loudest part. The other school says, the louder the better, get as big a signal as you can, and then that's going to be more attentive on the radio. People are going to hear a louder mix and they're going to go, well, that's the song I want to listen to because it's loud and in my face. So the limiter here that's built into this will allow you to do either. You have the stereo link, which is across the master bus. I have an auto gain knob, which will automatically control it. So I have my input gain on what's going on with the limiter, and immediately, as soon as I start bringing that up, you see these meters for GR, gain reduction. You see those really start to peg, because that's what's happening. Is what a limiter does is, the louder the input gain is, the more it's going to change the compression ratio. So you really don't want to compress much more than a few dB when it comes to limiting. And so you have your output gain here, which is after it gets limited, do you want to make up some gain? So you can change the output gain there. Squeeze and knee are how the ramp is on the limiter, and your attack time is how fast is it going to attack the signal that's getting to it. So if you wanted to jump on the signal as soon as the song starts or something like that, or as soon as a percussive area happens, then you want to have a low attack time. If you wanted to kind of lean into it a little bit and be a nice soft limiter, you would want to have a higher value for that. The release is, how long do you want that limiter to hold? You want to let go of the signal as soon as possible, or do you want to have a little tail on it? So the release time is either going to be small time to let it go right away, or a longer time to kind of let it have a more natural feel out. And so the precision limiter here in the XR18 will allow you to do, like I said, either the dynamic mix with just a little bit of compression, or you can have a mix where you can have it as a big loud fat signal if you want. It's nice to have both options in one unit, and this, along with some of the other effects in there, can really make actually a really good mastering suite even within the XR18. So when you think about the XR18 and you go, I can record, I can play back, and I can finish my project in it, you just start to see the real value of it. So this is the XR18 with some of the effects. For more information and media, please feel free to come visit us at Behringer.com. Thanks for joining us here at Music Group Studios.